We welcome you to Chapter 160 of The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. All rights to both the book and presentation are reserved. We're going to begin in a moment as soon as you've settled wherever you choose to settle. We've provided a setting here for you to imagine yourself in a safe and cozy location, or you can choose any place of your own desire. This is a place for people of goodwill and good hearts. We plan to start a virtuous cycle. If just a few of you who hear every chapter share your life, a tiny bit of your own emotional resources, to give a kindness to one other person, one person we'll never meet, one person we'll never see, one person we'll never reach, that can change the whole world. I ask you to consider exponential numbers. Take a look what happens when 2 gets multiplied by 2, when 4 gets multiplied by 4, when 183 gets multiplied by 183. Soon we're into the trillions of people who've purposed to give 1 or 2 minutes of their day to the kindness of others. Here we go. Chapter 160, Realizations. My God, Philippe, that might be ideal. No one but the 2 of you would know her there. She can decide if she wants to see either of you. No offense intended. None taken, Bertie. Why don't you leave to go and get her? I'll make arrangements for the room. Do you want me to call your parents and let them know where you are? They have to know or they'll worry. Do you want me to break the ice and tell them that she's back? Philippe, it might be better if you arrange for the room and Marie called my parents. Do you mind? She knows how to handle them, and this is a big one. That works. If you pick Bianca up in half an hour, you can be here in 3 hours. Do you want me to make a dinner reservation for the 2 of you? It's not that busy right now, so you don't have to decide about dinner immediately. You can make a reservation anytime you want when you get here, if you're not ready to decide right now. That's what I'll do. Bye for now, Philippe. But Philippe, I have no idea what mood she'll be in, and I'll have to attend to my wife, so please don't be hurt if I can't spend time with the 2 of you. We're the least important part of this equation. Bertie, have no worries. Take care of your wife. We can take care of ourselves. We love you. That'll never change. Just get your family back on track, and we'll be behind you all the way. Goodbye, Bertie. We'll see you later. Bianca's back? Asked Marie with incredulity when Philippe turned back to her. Apparently, Philippe replied. Come, we'll order some lunch. I'll tell you everything that Bertie told me. Oh, I'd better make their reservation before we go into the dining room. He strode back to the reception desk and he spoke to the lady on duty. When that was completed, he asked the maitre d' for a table for 2 for lunch. Over lunch, Marie racked her brain for anything that might help Bianca. When they went back to their room, Marie called her parents to let them know what was happening, and they were shocked to know that Bianca was back. Marie could hear the nervousness in her mother's voice. Her concerns were for Bertie and Alicia. Mama, we have to take this one step at a time. For now, you have Alicia. Just take care of her as you've always done. She heard her mother gulp, and then she heard, of course, Alicia must be my first priority. She will be. Marie then asked to speak to her father. She asked if Oscar thought Dr. D would speak with her. He's always been here for all of us. Just tell him what's happening, and then pretend to speak to him in hypothetical terms. I can give you his office number if you need it. It's right here in the drawer. He'll carve out time for you if you tell his receptionist that it's important. Why don't you wait 10 minutes until you call? I'll call the office first to pave the way. Honey, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this on your special vacation, he concluded. Papa, I love you, and I love our family. We'll do our part, and we'll get through it. Remember, I now have Philippe's love. He can get me through anything. Give the boy a hug for us. Tell him that we're sorry that he got drafted into the Second World War retrospectively. Now, I have to get going before the twins get wind that I'm talking with you. They will want to talk to Philippe, and they're still angry that he took you and not them. Marie almost heard him roll his eyes about the twins' reaction as she said goodbye. Marie told Philippe what her father had told her about the twins holding a grudge, and when Philippe looked sad, she poked him in the ribs and she said he was going to have to get used to breaking hearts. What do you think all the women of Paris will think when they learn that you're engaged and off the market? Philippe rolled his eyes and he retorted, They won't even notice, Marie. You're making me nervous. What if you wake up one day and realize that I'm no one special? Philippe, what are you talking about? No one special? Get real. I was dead serious when I said I was never getting married. I simply was not getting married, ever. And then you came along. Bertie and Uncle Aki are still giving me grief for being deaf, dumb, and blind. They keep saying that everyone knew that I was in love with you years before I even crossed my mind. I might have admitted that you were the nicest guy I knew, or that I thought you were handsome, but I never strayed into the area of thinking about love. That was definitely not in the cards for me, and I thought that was a given. Until you did your little march at the Arc de Triomphe. Never. Not until that moment. Well, I thought a lot about you, too much, in fact, and I was afraid it was getting in the way of my career studies. But until the moment you proposed to me, I never once considered myself as marriage material. I never considered that someone as wonderful as you would ever want to marry me. When you proposed, I just knew there was nothing else to do but say yes, or I would miss out on the best thing that ever happened to me or ever would happen to me. While Philippe was still pondering that, Marie dialed the number for Dr. D's office in Montreal. To her surprise, the receptionist put her right through to Dr. D. That's the end of chapter 160. We ask you to come back and share chapter 161. It's called The Last Night. And we ask you to consider taking a tiny bit of the reserves that we've tried to pour into your cup and pouring a little bit of it into the life of someone else. Let's start that virtuous cycle. I know that the numbers work. Please, the world needs a little kindness. Thank you. Bye-bye.